Hello friends. Today we're going to make some homemade apple pies. Well, not really homemade, like it's homemade but kind of store-bought. We're going to use store-bought pastry dough. So the best one that the one I use is this one, Pepperidge Farm Puff Pastry Sheets. You let it thaw a little bit. I've got one box open already, so I'm going to take that out. We're going to make the filling first, though. I have these just like 2 apples that are about to go bad. They're probably not good to eat as regular apples, so we're going to cut them up and make a pie filling. So you're going to want to cut your apples up. So I've skinned my apple, saving the peels to throw outside for the deer. And then we got this. This is one of my favorite kitchen gadgets. This melon baller. This is an antique one. I'm going to have to refinish the handle. But yeah, since I'm just making this for myself. There's nobody else here. So we're just making one. So we just need 1 apple. And that's probably pushing it. Probably half an apple will do. But then you're going to need some butter, sugar, cinnamon. I'm going to use brown sugar. Okay. And I would show you guys my face, but I've got some kind of allergic reaction going on around my eyes, and I look horrible. I look despicable. Please don't let me pass any mirrors. I'm scaring myself with how bad my eyes look. So, yeah. Okay, so the spices that I'm using are going to be nutmeg, cloves, cinnamon, ginger. Actually, I'm going to use some of this candied ginger sugar that I made previously. This is going to be a good midwinter Imbolc, like if you're going to do like an Imbolc feast or like an Imbolc dinner. This is going to be a good one because we've got the apple. Symbolism, you know, it's got the pentagram in the apple. It's got the symbolism of like fractalism, where the life is contained within, you know, there's like infinite life because of the seeds and so on and so forth. We've got all of the properties, the spiritual and medicinal properties of these spices. Plus, on top of that, like mini pies. You can make a bunch of mini pies. You can shape them in the shape of like moons. You could do like little round ones that are full moons. There's like so many opportunities to do this little recipe. So I just took about 2 tablespoons of butter. We got 2 tablespoons of butter, and now we're gonna do this type of recipe. I am not doing measurements because you don't really have to be precise with this type of, yeah, it's like quote unquote baking, but it's not like strict baking. So we're just gonna do, it says about a fourth to a half a cup of sugar. Yeah, this will be a really good like potluck, or even just if you're just at home with your family and you want a little pick-me-up of a recipe / spell, because, you know, as you know, you can infuse your meals, your cooking, with magic. You can infuse it with magic, therefore casting a spell of abundance, love, prosperity, comfort. That's the big one I like to do when I'm cooking. It's like, please allow this meal to bring comfort to those who consume it, because, like, you know, that's great. Okay. So, we're going to need a little bit of flour because we have to make it a little bit thick. So we're going to need just a tad of flour, just a tad bit flour. And in fact, I should have cooked that separate, but who cares? Who cares? So we're going to get that in there. I need my bigger whisk because this little whisk sucks. Actually, I'm going to need more butter too. So this is just like a fly-by-your-seat type of thing. Now, like I said, you can look up a recipe for measurements, and you can do all the fractions and math it takes to, you know, get that thing down to a small amount for one person, but we're just going to go this way. So I made this candied ginger with fresh ginger that I grew. And I just there's like these little extra pieces of sugar from the candying process. And you just throw a piece in there. And that is and see, that's your ginger ratio there. And once you throw the apples in, the apples will start to release their liquid and it will all start to come together. It was looking very worrying there to begin with, but we got it. And now you can do cornstarch if you don't have flour, or if you don't want to do flour. Now I'm going to add a little bit of nutmeg because I love the spices. You don't want to go crazy with the nutmeg because that one's strong. Cloves. Now, if you don't have all these separate, you can just use pumpkin pie spice because it's essentially the same thing as what I'm just all using here. The cinnamon, the cloves, the ginger. Oh, it smells like heaven. Now we're going to turn that off and just let that simmer on the heat. And we're going to pull out our puff pastry. Actually, let me look at this and see which kind. I think this is just 1/2 of a sheet. Oh. Now you want to pull this out. I've got to clean all this up. Allison was here. She left her pizza. So that will be the possum food. And then we're also going to give these peels to... You know, I should cut down this one feels a little bit more compromised than the first one. But I think we can get a couple pieces out of there. And we might as well. You know, why not? I added a dash of vanilla and the rest of those apples. And so I'm just going to let that marinate there on the stove. Oh, it smells... You guys, it smells so good. My mouth is watering. So we got the puff pastry. Now we're going to need an egg because you got to do an egg wash on your puff pastries. Otherwise, they're not going to come out brown and toasty. They're going to come out pale and weird. Put that there. Check our pastry dough. Still very hard. Okay. Always taste your work before you make a mistake and go through the whole recipe, and then you find out this tastes like shit. I did that yesterday with some cookies I made. Oh my god. That is the best thing I've ever tasted in my life. And it's definitely picking my spirits up. Now, like I said, you can do this. You don't need to measure. I mean, if you know the basics of cooking, it's just like you have to do the flour and the butter like 1-to-1 ratio. So if you put 1 tablespoon of butter, you're going to want to put 1 tablespoon of flour. Now, I didn't. That is if you want a super thick, super together. I didn't do that. I probably should actually add a tad more flour because I added a lot of butter. I added like 3 tablespoons of butter and like maybe 1 tablespoon of flour. And it's not, see how it's very, very liquidy? We're going to do that. We're not going to mess this up because if it's too liquidy, it will like all come out of the pastry dough and it will ruin everything. Turn the oven onto 400. Now we want this on low. My oven runs very high and hot. So we're just gonna add a tad more flour, and your pastry dough should be sitting on the counter. At this point, actually, I should have took it out a lot earlier. So take it out, but way before you start cooking, because it takes forever to unthaw, and you have to wait for it to unthaw before it will open. Because if you try to force it, it will just break. And then there you'll be with a broken pastry dough. So we're gonna add a tad more flour, like just like about another that, you know. So it all comes together. Damn, that shit is good. That's gonna be like that right there on its own. You don't even need to like put it in a pastry dough. You could just eat that by itself, and y'all, it's so good. That's what they call cooked apples down here in the South. I'm guessing, because that's exactly what it tastes like and looks like. That's a big dessert with the older crowd at Cracker Barrel. They like them cooked apples, y'all. So we just whisk that in. So we bring it together. Whisk it good. Egg wash is egg and a touch of water. Now I'm telling you guys, if you only make one of my recipes ever, let it be this one, because it's so delicious. So egg wash, just like so. Just gonna mix that up, because that filling on its own is so comforting, but in this puff pastry, it's going to be phenomenal. And you can eat it with whipped cream or ice cream, or just on its own with a sugared puff pastry. You can like dust it with powdered sugar on the outside. Or you could make like a glaze with powdered sugar and water, or powdered sugar and milk, and let it dry, and it will be like one of those hard like sugar cookie glazes, if you know what I'm talking about. But y'all, this filling alone is just like, oh, it's doing all the things for me. And if you have been here for any time and you have made any of the extracts, like if you made the magnolia extract last spring, like last early summer, if you made that, you could add the magnolia extract to this, and it will actually be a medicinal pick-me-up, because magnolia extract is used in traditional Chinese medicine, and it has properties that help with lifting up depression, helping mood stabilizing, helping you feel happy. In fact, as I'm sitting here talking about that, I'm like, why am I? This is my magnolia extract made with alcohol. It's anti-stress. It's like got so many benefits to it. And it really doesn't have its own unique, strong flavor. I've added it to sugar cookie dough. I've added it to several different recipes, and it really doesn't have its own flavor. It just has great medicinal properties. Let's see. Yeah, it just smells like almost like a molasses type of alcohol. That's what this smells like. But you just add, we're just going to add a tiny bit. And that's going to help with like seasonal depression. That's going to help with like a lot of things to do with my mood, because my mood has been crap lately. And usually this time of year, that's just like, you know, the name of the game of winter. Things are just kind of crap this time of year, mood-wise, and that's okay. We can let it be, but we don't have to suffer. We can make tiny things like this, tiny recipes. Okay, I'm going to put these together. Now, it's going to be hard to show you how to do this with one hand, but all you do is take one of these, so you cut it down here, and you can kind of stretch it out a little bit, but you just place your filling in the center, fold it over, or you can cut them in half, and then you take a fork and you want to press the edges. I will definitely show you that. You want to press them edges together so nothing comes out. So, okay, so you just press your fork like this. I tried to get it done really fast because the filling was spilling out. You could see in the middle ones. You want to cut the slits in the tops because you don't want them to puff up with steam and then burst. And then you take your egg wash and you just wash them. Wash them with your egg, and you cook them, I'd say, for about 20-25 minutes. You just want to keep an eye on them because, of course, all ovens are different. And you just want to make sure you'll know they're done because they'll puff. They'll puff up like 3 times this size. Puff, hence the name puff pastry. Y'all, I'm so excited for these. I've made different variations of these. Like, you can make your own Pop-Tarts. You can use, you can go into the cake and pie filling aisle, the pie filling, you know where the cake stuff is, and you can get those little cans of like strawberry pie or cherry pie or blackberry pie, and you can use, sorry guys, my mouth is watering so much because I'm so excited for these, but you can use any pie filling that you want inside of these, and they're equally as delicious. Okay, into the 400-degree oven for 20 minutes. Actually, I set it on 15, and then we're just going to watch it, and if it needs more time, good. See, as this stuff cools, look how thick it is, you guys. Oh my gosh. So delicious. 400 degrees at 20 minutes, and oh my good goddess. We've got some beautiful little pockets here. We're gonna let them cool completely because that filling is hot, hot, hot. And then, like I said, you can do several frosting options if you want to go that route. You can do, I think I'm gonna do one with the sugar cookie frosting. So that's powdered sugar or icing sugar and milk. And then you can also, once they're cooled completely, you can just do a dusting of powdered sugar. And then you can just leave it plain and eat it with ice cream or whipped cream. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys make this recipe. If you do, let me know how you liked it. It's just, you know, a homemade canned apple pie. So delicious. I love you all, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.